short duration discussion on the subject is, it's very important, serious effects of global warming and the need for remedical steps to tackle it. माननीय तिरुचि शिवाजी, Honorable Sri Trichy Siva, Sri Pramod Tiwari, Sri Santosh Kumar P. to raise a discussion on the serious effects of global warming and the need for remedical steps to tackle it. माननीय Trichy Sivaji.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I thank you personally for having given me the opportunity to initiate a very important discussion. And I thank the government for having taken up a short duration discussion, which we have been asking for long. And that too we have chosen today, the global warming, that's a climate change, which is threatening the entire world at large. Sir, the learned minister is here. He is taking very serious and sincere efforts. First, I appreciate him. Sir, I just don't want to take this debate as another debate, like what the COP conferences and other conferences across the globe have resulted in nothing. And this debate at least would fetch some concrete results, that it would address the prevailing issues with regard to the climate change. So I think it would be a very healthy discussion, sir, because we all have a concern about the future and the present also. What is looming above our head is very, very alarming and threatening. And I feel that it is not the prerogative of only the union government. It is also of the state governments. It's also of the private sectors. It is also of the civil society. Myself, yourself, and everyone in the country, we have our own responsibility. Sir, global warming is a contributing factor for climate change. Climate change is change in temperature, the humidity, the air, the wind, and the precipitation factors. Global warming is a quite phenomenal, very natural in nature. Earth by itself produces some greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane. So it is a process of the earth. When animals and the plants decay, they emit gases, and the plants absorb them. So this was a natural process. And these greenhouse gases emission was very much necessary. Otherwise, sir, the sun scorched wood has to be trapped. If not that, the earth would become an ice plant. It would get precipitated, it would get frozen. So these greenhouse gases trapped the sunlight and protected the earth so far as long as man intervened. Nature was protecting itself and the lives also. But the man started emitting greenhouse gases, which was exorbitant and increased the temperature in the air, and it also, the humidity, the rise in the sea level, everything. So everyone knows, sir, I don't want to give any data, what are the statistics, which are the reasons, which are the causes. Yes, of course. We should see the cause, the effect, and the responsibility, the remedial responsibility. We are not only the cause, the whole world is the cause for it. The effect is upon us more. India will be the 7th country to be affected because of this climate change. And remedial measures everyone has to take. So the COP27, which was expected again after many such meetings, resulted with no result. At last it came out with some, the intention was to create a corpus fund of around 100 billion US dollars for the developing countries to face the climate change. I don't know how far it will help. Our environment minister has evolved some strategies. He is working on it. And I should say I am from the state of Tamilmint. We have our own responsibility. So the target of the union government is by 2070, there will be zero carbon emission. Am I right? I think. It is around 50 years from now. But I am scared of 2040. What was in 2000 and what is in 2020, we can see the variations. The threat has increased. The alarm bell is ringing like anything. I don't think 50 years waiting, how far? So I think the measures have to be very urgent and very immediate. Tamil Nadu government has evolved some policies. Our Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin, has announced that we would achieve the zero carbon emission even before 2070. By 2030, our energy, electricity generation, 50% of it will be from the renewable energy. And for that, it has not just stopped with an announcement. We have started solar project with an investment of 70,000 crore. With an investment of 70,000 crores, sir. So, should not be just with words. We have got some other schemes also. I think I am very happy to say that because other states can also follow that and the Union Minister will appreciate that. We have got the Tamil Nadu Climate Change Mission, Green Tamil Nadu Mission and Tamil Nadu Wetlands Mission. And we have also established a special purpose vehicle called Tamil Nadu Green Climate Company. Sir, Tamil Nadu has got a coastline of 1,076 kilometers. And we have started afforestation, growing mangroves. So we just don't stop at expressing our concern, pointing fingers like at others, as in the global conferences. Everyone is pointing that the developed countries are the reason. That doesn't solve the problem. Everyone has a responsibility. Sir, we are going to leave our generations to live. We may leave them with education. We may leave them with property. We may leave them with many other things. But whether they will have water to drink, whether they will have air to breathe, or even food to eat, this is a very big question, sir. Sir, I imagine that. Maybe it is not a hallucination. It is, of course, waiting. It's real. The sea level which is rising will take off many of the coastlines. And in 2040, scientists say that blue means only the sea, not the sky. And you have to get into a boat and reach no point where, because you won't be able to live. What we see today is dead rivers are dead, forests are disappearing, peasants are displacing, and the sky is smoking. Sir, all these are alarming. What can we do? I say the governments, I say the individuals, including Agarwalji. Yesterday, sir, when I was flying, no, the recent sun that scorched Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and New Delhi, and the frequent floods in southern India, that too in Tamil Nadu, recent Mondes cyclone. So, sir, it is of course very certain that frequent cyclones will be there. There will be more droughts. Fertile lands will turn into dry lands. So where will you go for food? Sir, there is one question for which two answers are there. What will be the future of the world after 20 years? The first reply is, the world will be ruled by artificial intelligence. Robots will be doing everything. Man will be comfortable with only luxuries. Sentiments and relationships would have also all gone. That is different. India will become a supernatural power, economic power, everything. The other reply is, how many species will be extinct in it? What will be the life of the living beings? Already it is said that 200 species extinct per day. And it is said after 10 years, 10,000 species will be extinct. Not numbers, sir. 10,000 species will be extinct. And human life will also be included later by and by. So this one question, after 20 years, we are living in an utopia that we will be having artificial intelligence and we are educated, we are rich, we have money. But where will you go for food? We cannot eat money. I am bothered. See, after 20, 25 years, we may not be there, but our generations will be there. What are we going to leave for them? Sir, this is very, very serious, sir. And that's why I said everyone has got a responsibility. Yesterday, when I was flying in the flight from Chennai to Delhi, in the business class, before serving the meal, they spread a towel before the table. And it was a thick material. I said, I don't want that. I said, why? She asked why. I said, the table is number one, neat. Number two, without being much used or soiled, you will collect it and put it for washing. It will consume more water, detergent. And for nothing, I'm wasting water, I'm using detergent. And you know what the next passenger to me sitting was doing? The air hostess appreciated me. He was looking at me as a stranger. As if I'm not having proper etiquette or something. They see, we live in a false world. What all these things? Sir, when we go to a marriage, for example, we are all considered to be important persons. We go to a marriage function or any function. There they give us water in a PET bottle. We drink only a little and leave it there. So many PET bottles are there. Water is also wasted. So what I do, sir, whenever I go, I think nothing wrong. I'm very happy to share that here. I also tell the students, whoever I go to address, whether in a school or college, I carry the bottle along with me. Number one, I'm saving water. Number two, I'm not dumping plastic in a place. See, we see whales found dead in the sea, in their stomachs, tons of plastic. Elephants in the forest. Sir, a month before, in Mettur Dam, everyone knows, it's a very big dam in Tamilmint, which serves to the, caters to the needs of the irrigation and drinking purpose. Just nearby Mettur Dam, sir, it was a 30-second news on TVs. 10 tons of fish were dead and floating for no reason. Nobody followed it. Nobody bothered about it. They are fluent. Sir, I request the minister, it is not only your responsibility. We understand. It is not a blame game. You are not doing this or that. We have some reservation. That apart. I am discussing a very important issue. With concern, with responsibility. That's why I said this debate should bring an outcome. Not in the COP27, but today in the Rajya Sabha, we have come with a concrete idea, with a concrete scheme. Means I think this debate will be a very useful debate. You have to coordinate with other ministers. For example, the agriculture ministry. The fertilizers that are used in agriculture produce more nitrous oxide. So we have to return back to organic farming. And so also urban development. So construction should not come on drainages, on watersheds, wherever. And industries minister. See, methane, it is 21 times potent than carbon dioxide. Sir, in California, recently, there was a leakage in a methane storage. And it was nearly 5 billion cubic feet, which is equivalent to the emission of 6 lakh vehicles per day, automobiles. They took 3 months to control that. Today, this morning, the Minister for Science and Technology was replying about the nuclear project in Tamil Nadu. He said,
Kalpakam.
Kudangolam and Kalpakam, he said, when someone raised an apprehension that what are the plans you have for the nuclear waste? He said, we have not experienced any leakage so far. What is this, sir? You cannot find a solution only after having met with an accident. You have to something well prepared to stop that. Sir, when we say that to reduce the electrical generation by way of producing more renewable energy, by way of solar projects and all, Tamil Nadu is potent with wind power. The amount of quantity of power generated through nuclear power in India is equivalent to the wind power generated in Tamil Nadu. You have to think about all those things. So many, Rajasthan is there, Gujarat, there, solar projects could be concentrated. In spite of that, our government is attempting to increase nuclear power by 3 times in the coming years. You may generate power because we are going to substitute electrical vehicles in the place of fossil fuel vehicles. But that, when nuclear project has come in, the big question before us, the apprehension rather, genuine apprehension, what you are going to do with the nuclear waste? And We cannot think about the nuclear waste, toxic thing, what would happen to the world. We still think of what happened in Bhopal, just there. It is not a nuclear one. Bhopal tragedy, we still remember. What happened in Chernobyl, in Russia. So kindly, diversified activities means must be sensible, practically possible, and we should not harm the human generation in future. Just to fulfill the present needs is not the issue, sir. We should have a foresightedness. We should look into the future, what would happen. So,
Please.
sir, I think India is the third.
बहुत गंभीर चर्चा चल रही है, कृपया मोबाइल ना बजे, आप प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
Hackers? Sir, there are only 10 countries. The emission of greenhouse gases.
Yes, Mani Trichy ji.
Sir,
Please.
the emission of greenhouse gases by 10 countries amount to 2/3 of the whole world's emissions, sir. Surprising? The UN has got hundreds of countries. We say 200 countries unknown here and there. But 10 countries contribute to 2/3 of the total emissions. And we stand in the third place. China is number one. It is 10.6 gigatons. It was 9.8 2 years before. Now it is 10.6. United States 4.7. India was 2.3 and now 2.8. So, sir, I think it's high time we have to think about it. 10 countries are going to raise question about the lives of the whole human community in the world. And Obama said that there is no other threat going to be for the future generation except the climate change. And the successor said, no, it is only a hoax. But later, that is not within our purview. But they have contributed more. They are not able to be stopped. And we are also doing. That's why I said initially, it is not only the responsibility of the union government, it is also the responsibility of us. Every individual, civil society, even organizations in the private sector. I think the Civil Aviation Ministry could issue a circular that on board in the flight and everywhere, PET bottles should be avoided. This sort of wasting towels and formalities should be stopped. These are all very small things, sir, but contribute a lot. We need water. We need water. Now itself we are suffering. I think Minister is very serious. I think he has evolved many things, but some things I have to bring to his knowledge. We have concern about the Environment Ministry's recent EIA notification, Environmental Protection Act, Water Act, Forest Conservation Act, Biodiversity Act. All these, sir, will result in degradation of forest. We need forests. Only the protection and extending the forest only will save the nation, save the world, save the humans. That's what I said at the outset itself. Whatever gas emission is emitted was absorbed by the plants, but now forests are not. That's why I said forests are disappearing. Glaciers are melting. Ice sheets are going off. Sir, I think he is well-informed minister would accept that there were 10 points that were absorbing the heat waves. Out of that, 4 have already been exhausted. Already 4 have been exhausted. And when the rest are also exhausted, I don't want to say that, sir. I don't want to say that. Huh? Again, human race have to be sorted. Again, I say, sir, we are all here with a responsibility. Every one of us, sir. We should think of our generation. What are we going to leave for them? Not just education, not just properties, not a risk, please. This is what we are. When we say responsibility, the responsibility lies with not only the members of parliament. When we ourselves lack, what would be the common man who are not literate, who are not aware of what is before us. So, sir, I'm really participating in this with trembling, sir, because I think above myself. I think about others. I've been taught like that. That's why, sir, my state, which is known for social justice, is also my government, headed by our leader, is striving for environmental justice. That's why 1,067 acre stretch of coastline is being afforested. I think when he comes to know, he would appreciate that. So, sir, these are very, very important and minute things which I would like to highlight and leave it to the rest of the members to share their views, sir. And very importantly, excuse me. Stronger guidelines we need from the ministry, because we are afraid that, sir, many states would suffer very more droughts and worsened and frequent hurricanes, cyclones would befall in the coming days, and sea would encroach into the city where we are living. These are all only not statistics or imaginations or only hallucinations, sir. It is about the lives of our future. So, if at all, every single thing worthy of living, life has disappeared into thin air, and all we can do is, as I said, do something. As a big part of climate action lies in protecting and expanding forest coverage. I just don't want to conclude my speech with a pessimistic note, with only concern, with serious effects what would cause the climate. I would like to give one or few suggestions, and among them I said what I did, what I do at marriage halls, what I do on the flight, wherever I go. However much possible, I save water. If I go on the way, if I see a tap leaking, I will go and stop that. I'll stop my car. Either I'll go or I'll ask my person to stop that, because I know the preciousness of water. Where 40 feet depth water was available, now it has gone down to 800 feet. So more crops in a single farm. Such things has to be concentrated, and as I requested the minister, he has to coordinate with all the ministers. He has a very big responsibility. He's not just the minister of the union cabinet, one portfolio, sir. It involves the future lives of the human, future of the nation, and as well as the world. And going in participating, apart from global summits, we have to do something. So foresting, expanding forest coverage, regulations need to be tightened and enforced to ensure forest protection while acquiring land. For public pressure to drive climate action, we need to consider climate catastrophes as largely man-made. So I leave it to the wisdom of my colleagues, and I expect the minister to give a concrete reply. I think I have initiated a very, very important issue today in this August House, and as I said, sir, let it not conclude like the other global summits, recent COP27. Today, let us come out with a concrete solution. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Trichy Sivaji, for speaking from the core of your heart. You have initiated very nicely. It's a very serious subject related with the future of humankind and planet. Thank you. Kavita Patidar ji. Kavita Patidar.